let's talk about sleep disorders, which affect many people, especially so when the planet is going through modifications or changes, and it can affect many people all over the world and all walk of lives and at any age group. So those of us who have trouble sleep at night will truly understand or appreciate the value of a good night's sleep. Apart from resting, a good night's sleep can do many things, such as recharge eyes, calm a restless mind, or even help us to think of a new way to solve a difficult problem. Because without sleep, we can even go without food and water for some maybe 2 days, but we cannot go without sleep without even in one day. There are people who go without sleep for 1-2 days, but those people become kind of disoriented with mind fogs, and they cannot rationalize, and it can be very dangerous because you're gonna lose your conscience and lose your identity, and it will be easier for you to get possessed and do stupid things. So that's why a good night's sleep is very, very important. Drug addicted people usually sleep less because the drugs give them euphoria kind of give a lot of adrenaline, and you kind of cannot sleep at all because your mind becomes very active. Somehow it messes with the part of your brain um, that calms you and make you more relaxed because of the hormones, something that the thyroid and the parathyroids in your brains. So that's why a good night's sleep is very, very important. Without it, you cannot function well, and you're gonna become very irritated, and you can even lose the consciousness and do the unthinkable by going without a good night's sleep. If you cannot sleep at night, it's okay, because some people is nocturnal. They prefer the night because during the night we do not work in morning or afternoon. They can think better, they can meditate better. Those people, they like the freshness of the night, the quietness when the world goes still a bit. They don't like the frantic, noisy, confusing daytime in the cities, unless you are in the countryside or in a very quiet. If you are lucky enough, you will be in a good place, a good quiet neighborhood or a small town. Otherwise, if you're not lucky, you're on the near roadside, near the city, then it's gonna be very difficult for you to go inside and to meditate better and to gather information. Okay, gather important data, important information about our reality. So good quality sleep benefit us at the physical, mental, and spiritual level, and improves our efficiency in all activities. And another thing, what gets tired when you don't sleep? What actually gets tired? It's not your body, it's not your brain, it's your soul. And why? Because your soul needs to go out and recharge the battery. Otherwise, if the spirit or soul is to stay in this body and carries it around all the time, Imagine a poor horse or a poor body have to carry 24 hours a very heavy burden or cargo. They will end up they will have a burnout, burnout, and they will fall, they will just lose consciousness at the end of the day. So that's not your body but your soul that needs the rest. It will needs to take off, and it goes back to it is monada. The monada is a station in the astral where you need to recharge your soul, and then with the help of the golden cord you will be able to return again, or even dream, whatever. And with the help of this golden cord, which attaches the soul with the physical body by the umbilical cord, will be able to return, recharge, refresh, etc. And that's why you all need, even the animals need to take a nap, a good rest, good night's sleep. Many people who burns out usually are those people who are high stress level job, who are on the 12-hour shift, work in some country like slave. This type of country has no feeling, no empathy whatsoever for the plight of their worker. And so we need that sleep. All sentient beings need a good night's sleep, or day-night sleep. Doesn't daytime sleep doesn't matter, because cats, felines are more active, and some other animals are more active at night when everything is quiet. During the day they take a nap, they sleep, they rest. Not because they are evil, not because they are devil, or there some will say, oh, this is a devilish thing. Those people who are even worse, who have a very dark soul and heart, will say that nothing to do. It all depends of how you view, you perceive things. It's all in your intentions, all in your needs. Okay? So many people suffer from sleep disorders such as insomnia, sleepwalking, and sleep paralysis. Insomnia, usually on the physiological level, we have a change of hormone. There's a hormone, your parathyroid. When you are low in that, or your thyroid glands also has some problem, adrenal, whatever. So what will happen? When you are low in the hormone, you will get more euphoric, and you will be more wicked. Usually, as we age, we be lower in this hormone. That's how we call it for woman and man, doesn't matter. It's the menopausal, the middle life crisis, menopausal hormones. You see, lower down a bit. So will be more wicked than a younger people below the age of 40s, 50. So in this case, it's good that these people take a tea made of lavender and wash banana peel, boil it, mix it with the lavender and the chamomile tea, the herb. So you drink that concoction and see if it really help. Some say a cup of warm milk dairy is not so good, because there is some content in them that will make you have some strange dreams. I don't know why yet, but I heard that if you eat dairy before sleep, then you may have some kind of strange dreams or nightmare. Okay, so you better take tea, lavender, chamomile, and banana peel. Banana, do you know the peel the skin? That one. Wash it, boil, drink the water. So sleepwalking, sleep paralysis, which makes it very difficult for them to get quality sleep no matter how hard they try. However, some people, if you try this method and you cannot get, then you have a more deep problem, which you need to find out what. It may be that someone is sending you psychic thoughts from far away, remote viewing you, send you psychic thoughts that cannot, get you from their mind. It's like you occupy a space on their mind, and they'll send you all those frequency, and somehow it's gonna be hard for you to get sleep. Second reason may be that you have a disincarnate spirit that follows you and somehow stops you from sleep, at least at night. You need to find out what's your specific problem, whether it's physiologic. If you have taken measure to heal through physiological way, like take those teas, or even go to a clinic, take all those drugs, control the drugs which makes you addicted, and even worse, when you stop drinking or stop taking it, you go back sick, you run amok, then you become worse. Okay, but whoever want to go doctor office, please do so. Your problem is your body. However, I wouldn't choose it for me. I rather go to the holistic way, find an alternative ways to solve this problem of insomnia. So doctors prescribe sedative drug, advise exercises or relaxation techniques to people with sleep disorders, but many times people do not get relief. Because it is in some psychiatric or spiritual, even deeper than the spiritual. It's some kind of possession or obsession that you have in you. The reason people often do not get relief through conventional medical treatment is that the root cause of most sleep disorders lies in the spiritual dimension. In order to treat spiritual problems effectively, a solution needs to be taken at a spiritual level. In this section, we present spiritual research conducted on various sleep disorders and solution at a spiritual level. Along with this, we also share real-life case studies of people who have overcome sleep disorders through spiritual practice and spiritual healing remedies. Sleep paralysis causes and treatment. So let's go there. This one is usually done by incumbus or succumbus. You feel a heaviness on you. It's done by some astral beings. Many people have experienced waking up from their sleep in the middle of the night and find out that they cannot move. I moved to, as soon as I got married, I was still having young children. I once had 3 of them. I had already 3. I also have this problem also, wake up, sleep, sleeping, walk. And there was some supernatural activity in the house. Maybe the building were built on in a old cemetery. I am not sure. And that was the cause. But when I moved to another room, it will cease. And when my children grew up, and I moved to another room and started to sleep by myself, it went away. Even though they are awake and fully conscious of what is happening around them, they are completely immobilized. Many have sensed the seen or unseen presence on them or in the room. I have seen that. I couldn't move. I know I have senses. I could feel my senses, my consciousness see. My eyes would move. I would see the walls and the furniture out. However, I couldn't move, and I saw a crocodile coming out from on top of my body. However, this crocodile was not um, physical. It was in astral form, but it was very solid. And there's no way where that crocodile come from in that flat. There's no way it could come up in that flat. So I tried to open the door of the room to get out, but the key, the crocodile, that reptile was holding on his, I don't know how to call that snoot that they have, that the mouth. The key, it was wrapped around his face, and I couldn't move, and it was a reptilian. So men have sensed a seen or an unseen presence on them or in the room. Yeah, it's an extremely unnerving feeling, and the person going through it is gripped by fear. This group of symptoms is popularly known, especially in the medical world, as sleep paralysis. I once had sleep paralysis about 5 days ago, and I could see that I have a presence around me, and he will try very hard for me not to sleep, trying to wake me up, keeping me up, but I wouldn't budge in, so I just fall asleep again. And the feeling was terrible, was of despair, sadness, anguish. It was a terrible feeling, and with my third eye I could see that there was a white figure right by the bed, a white figure standing there, wait for me to wake up. It was about 4 a.m. in the morning, and there I was trying to get asleep, and that thing waking me up, but I didn't budge in. I didn't give in to them. I just went to sleep and I wished it away. I didn't give them any credit and attention. It went away, and yeah, the feeling was terrible. The feeling that they transpired to my solar plexus, to my heart, was of sadness, despair. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now I know. At the same time, there were a close relative that was in the hospital at that time, and I didn't know that he was admitted. Oh, that's explained. That was his soul nearby me, maybe. I don't know. Try to contact me or get my help. So in the case that it happens generally when one is going to sleep state or come out of a sleep state, Shiani and some other researchers have stated the following as some of the key observations about sleep paralysis. And yeah, the feeling was terrible, of sadness. Now that I think that person came to me, and another thing, when you cannot sleep is because They say also that the other side, there's someone who is keeping you awake in their dimension. You see, there's something that's keeping you awake because they are thinking of you. So if it is not a physiological problem or psychic problem, a psychological problem, it may be a spiritual one, and need to find out. It occurs frequently, about 3 or 6% of the world population. About 10% of the young adults experience sleep paralysis at least once in their lives. First time I had this, I was 17. I was not even an adult. It's more likely to happen to young adults. It can last from a few minutes to a few hours at a time. People's experience sense or see a presence around them during their paralyzed state. Yeah. Fear grips them, and some of them have said that demonic force wants out to possess their soul or once tried to crush or smother them. Yeah. That crocodile was right on top of my body. And once I came to sense, and I really could move my eye to see, and I look around, and then when I look at my stomach, he slide off my stomach and going down to the floor. And the key that I could open the door, it was on his mouth. In some cases, people feel pressure or a shocking sensation. Yeah, a shocking sensation. They try to shock you many times. It happened to me many times. This few years ago, 2-3 years ago, how they kept shocking for breath, almost dying. They really want to suck off my soul out of my body, but they couldn't. They tried many times. I cursed them away. Whoever it was, I cursed them, and they went out. This is accompanied by breathing difficulties. Yeah. In few instances, this escalated into sexual molestation. Yeah. Or assault. Yeah, that's true. In some cases, people feel pressure or shocking sensation. This is accompanied by breathing difficulties. In few instances, this escalates into sexual molestation or assault. Yeah, that's so very true, because it really happened to me. A foul smell, a foul smell of something decaying, or most of the times of excrement. Can be animal excrement, can be a cat's poop or human poop, or a sewage is around. A foul smell has been perceived at times during the paralytic attack. Yeah, it's true. It's more likely to happen when sleeping on one's back. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. My mother always sleep on the back, but never happened nothing to her, and she covered all up. People who go through it are embarrassed by the event, thinking that something must be wrong with them mentally. Yeah. Hypotheses offered as an explanation by modern sciences. Research on sleep paralysis is continuing, but up to now, modern sciences do not have a clear and conclusive understanding of the phenomenon. However, the various hypotheses put forth as possible explanations of the various symptoms are those undergoing severe stress and reliving past horrors through sleep paralysis. No. They are hallucinate akin to dreaming. No. They are due to the activation of the part of the brain which monitors the surroundings, portrays and launches responses to perceived dangers. An activation of this part of the brain in the absence of any real threat during REM, rapid eye movement, part of sleep, gives rise to a feeling of intimidation presence in the immediate surroundings. How to explain the choking on the neck and the sensation that something is trying to pull out your soul. How to explain that? It's something to do with the pineal glands or the here the thyroid, or something to do, how to explain something try to drag your soul like to a rubber, and you really feel your soul come out and in and out, in and out, and you try to bring your soul back to your body. REM part of sleep is that part associated with dreaming when the eyeballs seem to be moving rapidly. They are due to temporary disruption of the barrier between sleeping and waking state, so that some sleep phenomena, of which paralysis is one, breaks into wakefulness. No good, no, it doesn't help to convincing. Causes of sleep paralysis according to modern science. According to modern science, the probable causes of sleep paralysis include life stresses, sleep deprivation, long-standing sleep disturbances, and those who have been sexually abused. That's nonsense, a generic link. What's the treatment for sleep paralysis according to modern sciences? As neither the specific cause nor the explanation of the phenomenon is available, all proposed treatment for sleep paralysis is strictly empirical at best. For me, the best cause is for you to say a affirmation, frequency affirmation, to will them away and send it away. Whatever be discarnated spirits, demons, whatever, will it away and tell them not to invade your space. Will it away and you will sleep better. I vouch for that. And I stay away from all these things of a cult. You go there, you offering something to those spirits. You do cult, you go to into religion. If you do that, then you're asking for it some way, somehow. Some say that sleep paralysis can be controlled with fluoxetine type antidepressant. No sense. You become addicted, which inhibit REM sleep, especially useful where there is underlying depression. Others refute the use of medication by stating, sometimes the most effective way to deal with the disorder is to get a clear understanding of the disorder and develop your effective ways of waking yourself or your partner. It's also important to be reassured that many other people have it and that you are not the lone sufferer. Yes, especially the elderly people. Spiritual research in sleep paralysis. The following is spiritual explanation of some of the key observations mentioned above. All explanations and statistics quoted here are obtained from universal intellect. Filia presenti while paralyzed. Spiritual research into the cause of sleep paralysis has revealed that one of the many spiritual reasons for this phenomenon is an attack by demons or reptilians. This is the reason why in most cases people feel presence or can actually see a presence over there by your bedside or wherever you sleep. You can see your third eyes, you can see a white figure. It's not hallucination, but it is actually a ghost or a demon, most of the times a devil. We perceive the presence through a sixth sense. Yeah, that's true. This is what happened to me many times. Likelihood of occurrence in human beings. The following table gives us a breakdown of the frequency of attack experienced by seekers of God and non-seekers. It includes all cases of sleep paralysis, whether the root cause is in the physical, psychological, or spiritual plane. And then you ask, how come this person have all these and others no? Simple, because some people are very sensitive. Some people are here to expose things, and those are the ones persecuted. others. In other cases, it may be that somebody's doing evils of you, evil people, even among your enclaves, like your relatives, family members, like it could be a son, a daughter, uh, I expose their relatives, a friend in the workplace, anything except your mother, your father, is sending you bad energy. Okay, when they send you that evil eyes, they create that body, that energy, and that energy materializes and takes up a form, and they will haunt it eyes. Most of the time, what appears to be hauntings are but emotions created by our psyche. Okay, when you focus so much in one thing, and then you have a very strong desire for it to materialize, it forms a gaze, one kind of um, thought form. Is called thought form. Many hauntings are caused by emotions, by thought forms that impregnate itself into walls, roofs of a house, whatever, or they float around you. These are thoughts sent forth from people around you. As I said, it can be a relative, okay, relative, a friend, an ex-lover, ex-spouse, um, anybody close to you, even a workplace, or even a stranger on the streets. So you must safeguard yourself from evil eyes. It's called, most of the time it's called evil eyes. Or in other cases, you take drugs, people do drugs, going to those places heavily infested by dense forms, by all these astral forms that lingers in there, like I would say a bar, a cabaret, a nightclub. Those places are usually infested. Even I'm gonna tell you, even temples, churches, mosques, synagogues are all infested, but you don't see. Yep. And even your houses, when you live with a lot of people and each one has their emotions and we come to misunderstanding, it will create a thought form. You see, it will create a dense energy that you can cut in with a knife. Sometimes when you enter a place, you can feel the energy so thick that you can cut with a knife. So you need to find out what is it that haunts you. And the other people can be miles of miles away, doesn't matter. They still can, because thought is subtle form that can materialize instantly. It doesn't matter whether you are near or far away, it will always have some effect to affect you. The following table gives us a breakdown of the frequency of attack experienced by seekers of God and non-seekers. It includes all cases of sleep paralysis, whether the root cause is in the physical, psychological, spiritual plane. Sense. I have seen so many seekers of God having this a lot, wake up shouting. All those religions people have a terrible nightmare. Non-seekers 20%, that's nonsense. I see a lot of religion people have no peace of sleep. A seeker is a person who makes honest and sincere effort on a daily basis. I don't want to go there. I'm sick of this fanaticism more. What does happen more in young adults? Can it happen with teens? Can it happen with elderly? It is more likely to be found in young adults. The reason for this is that young adults are not yet very mature. They don't know how to deal with spiritual world, and they deal with a lot of black emotions. They have a lot of black emotion because lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, etc. And when I say knowledge, I mean knowledge of the metaphysical world that you don't see. For this is that young adults have most of their life to go and hence have the maximum amount of karma yet to be completed. No sense. It's because of their level of understanding maturity. A negative karma count with a devil or ancestor in the subtle and the astral regions of the nether region or hell. I don't believe that could well play out as an attack of sleep paralysis. Nope, those are devil, idiot. Those are reptilian. And since worldly desires are highest in young adults, they become targets. Yeah, this is true. Though they are more likely to drink, take drugs, and go to the nightclub, etc. But they become targets for evil forces to possess, to fulfill their own desires. Those in the lower and older age group are not of much use from a desire fulfillment point of view. Still, they disturb the elderly as well. The elderly have had completed the majority of their karma. There's no sense. I mean, elderly cannot sleep. See, so many of them complain in the Zealand, the old age homes. I see a lot of them complain about not being able to sleep. They have to take drugs to sleep. So your account's not true, doesn't make any sense. And their lifetime in a melloid if life's trials and tribulations, no sense. They are not spared from being attacked. Why does it happen generally while sleep on one's back? It can any way, whether in the back, whether in your butt, whether in your sides. It will happen anyway. It have to happen, it will happen. This because when one is lying on either side, one of the two main channels of the Kundalini spiritual energy system is active. When in supine position, the Kundalini is least active. As the flow of energy is reduced, it is easier to immobilize the motor system of a person. The Kundalini system of energy is the spiritual energy flowing to the various systems and organs of the body and is vital to their functioning. It's for this reason that 70% of all cases of sleep paralysis happen when lying on the back. Doesn't matter. They can attack you anyway. My mother sleep always on the back. I was amazing how she would not get in nightmare. It happens generally when going into sleep state or come out of it. According to spiritual research, only 10% of cases happens when one is falling asleep or coming out of sleep. In 90% cases it happens in sleep. Hence the affected person is not aware of it or semi-aware of it. SSRF studied sleep patterns of some volunteers suffering from sleep paralysis. It was found that many of them appeared to be immobile or unconscious at night in sleep, trying to wake them up. On trying to wake them up, it was found that they were immobile. The devils prefer to attack the person in deep sleep because then they have to use less energy to have their way with the person. No, because in deep sleep, during your state of dreaming, you get more like vulnerable. I would say become weaker because you are not full conscious of yourself, of your identity. You see, so they can easily manipulate that astral and light body. I have go through these studies with myself, testing this on my being, myself, and I find out it's because once you are in a dreamy state, you are more subconscious and subconscious state rather than when you are full awake. Once you are full awake, for many people, we are more complete. We are more self-aware and conscious. So it's more difficult for them to to harm us, but they still try. The possessions, people who commit suicide and kills, yeah, they still can harm. However, not all people it will happen, because in the body, when open wake up, we are more self-conscious. Then when we go out of the body, if just that astral um, causal body, that causal body is the most that suffer. That one is the most persecuted of all. For example, to carry out the sexual desires, there's no sense. I think this person who do this, he have some problem with his sex, or he's needy or something like that. Why must I always talk about this? Through spiritual research, it was found that the average duration of an attack is anywhere between 3 minutes to 3 hours. When it happened to me a long time ago when I was 17, I don't know whether it was 3 minutes or 3 hours. All I know is that I woke up and I was full aware of my body and my surroundings. I was full aware. How to ascertain the cause of sleep paralysis? Only a person who activates 60 senses can truly ascertain whether the cause of sleep paralysis was physical, psychological, or spiritual. However, we can make an educated guess. For me, it was nothing like, even as I was 17-year-old, I knew that it was nothing to do with my psychological makeup, my psychological state of mind, and it has everything to do with the building, because that building, that hotel that I was with my sister in that state, was kind of very creepy, and it had that minaret on top, built by Jewish people, and have one kind of dome, very strange, and is very old. And when not then, after that, now as I grew older, now very far away from that place, I find out that that place was a place for Masons to gather and have ritual there, all the satanic ritual. And that's explained. Now I know why I saw that lizard over there. And not me alone saw that lizard in that hotel. My sisters as well and their friends. One of my sisters, who is also a bit, she's very sensitive. Another sister also on Pisces, one Scorpio, and I am in Virgo. We are very, very clairvoyant. We could see things. So they also saw that same lizard transform itself into a man with a scale, greenish brown, and then climb the wall where she was asleep. And he was kind of bowed, with very fun face, and she just said a Spider-Man, but not a spider, that was a reptilian lizard man. And he could also transform. To me, he appeared as a crocodile. To my sister, appear as a man, a lizard man, with his scale and greenish brown. And to another sister also, he appears the caretaker, who they say have passed away. But it was another human soul. It was reptilian. It was physical. So I knew that time. I knew, me and my sister knew, because we were not strange with this kind of haunting things and evil things, evil creatures. My sister, one of them, son who is Pisces, who was Pisces because she passed away this year, she also had to see this thing on her when she was sleeping. They come in their bed and they descend towards her. She was only about 10 years old, and were already disturbing her, and that house where we stayed with our parents were haunted near a train track. The backyard faced the train track, and was a battle of, I don't know, have a revolution there. Wars were fought in there, and was very haunted, and my sisters and I were not strange to all those phenomenon. So however we can make an educated guess with our intellect, I knew already. Me and my sister knew that it was nothing to do with some psychological whatever. It was due to real paranormal events, into spiritual cause, not physical causes being through. Set up with the body 5%, chemical changes 2%, others 3%, 10% breakdown psychological cause, 30% due to terror, nightmare or demons. Breakdown spiritual causes 60%. Demons, black magic, black magic cause. Someone sends you something, 10%. Subtle bodies of departed ancestor, I don't believe that. Planets, it may happen, but it's very, very seldom. Wow, this relative might be very evil and did it to cause problem by this side. Destiny 3%. Only I guess the devil part of this dead person who do this. Miscellaneous 4%, Kundalini 3%. So we hope that an understanding of the root cause and treatment for sleep paralysis will reduce people's fear and embarrassment and empower them to overcome the issue. Spiritual research, not ghosts, has shown that all sleep paralysis attacks that are caused due to devils fall into three broad category. Press the body of the person, and he cannot breathe. I think they send frequencies, they use just the mind, they are sorcerer, they are very powerful, and they can control our body just with a mind, a thought, and a look. In most cases, the persons lie on his back. When this happens, here the devil presses the body of the person down. Into this, the person cannot move. That pressure is not their body, something else. It's the power of the mind. Devils consist of the absolute air principle, whereas man is made of absolute earth and water principle in terms of cosmic principle. The absolute air principle is higher, more powerful than that of the earth and water. Black energy, which is a function of the spiritual power, the primary weapon, just whether they apply pressure or tying cords or create a message. Basically, it is the black energy of the devil that acts like a poisonous gas capable of affecting the entire system of man. I think they send a remote view of these things, frequency to paralyze your brain. Depending on how the ghost intends to distress the person, it selects the organ and mode of affecting the person, and how the devil, not ghost devil. The mental faculties of the person are intact. The person wants to move but is unable to do so. Yeah, that's true. This can last for a few moments to many hours at a stretch, and you feel very like you want to wake up but you cannot. The feeling is terrible, like you are half asleep, half awake, and then you go out of consciousness and then you wake up again. People around the concerned person think they are asleep. There is no sign of any struggle on the person's face or body, and is completely immobilized. The person undergoing the paralytic attack is fully conscious and can hear people out but cannot call out for help. Yeah. And my sister said that whenever they saw this thing, they wanted to shout but they cannot. Something like block their pineal gland. Sometimes it is accompanied with a foul smell. Yeah, a smell of the crap, poop. The devil, not the ghost, it doesn't. This through is black energy. The person perceives it through the sixth sense or extrasensory perception. Please read the article on sixth sense for more detailed understanding of how we perceive smell, taste, vision, touch, hearing, etc. through our subtle sense organs. The attack is generally carried out by a devil from any region of hell. The duration of the attack is decided by the devil's spiritual strength, how far it intends to cause stress to the person, and the spiritual prowess of the affected person. In some instances, people feel a vibration effect. The vibration indicative of abortive or incomplete process of immobilization by the devil. Yeah, I think I feel this vibration even on the chair. In those cases where the attack ceased by shaking the person, the causative factor is either subtle bodies of departed. No, 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 no. I don't think so. There's something with eyes. I don't know. This is something to do with ancestral, which were not humans. Place premises of Kundalini. Tying the body of the person. Here are higher demons like subtle sorcerer from the fourth region of hell use their supernatural power to tie the person's body with cords of their black energy. Here the person feels tied up. He is unable to move or speak. Now I feel very, very heavy. The person experiences all of the above except that there is no pressure. Control of the mind and intellect. Yeah, they control the mind and intellect. Sorcerers from the fourth region of hell performing a sacrificial fire. This is not a physical event but performed with the power of a mantra by devils. Ghost. What ghost mean? Wow, so good. Die already become a monster like this. Oh, so good. In this case, the person is completely incapacitated by devils. The body, mind, intellect are all paralyzed by the devils. Here, the high-level devils, like sorcerers from the fourth region of hell. I don't know what the hell from ghost become a mago now. Become a sorcerer from ghost, you know. From ghost, wow. Just die already upgrade. Here, one's nothing. Here, maybe one's a cleaner. Die, become a high-level sorcerer. A mago. A devil instantaneous. How to trust in that? I do not trust. So that's rubbish. This it's just lunacy, kind of misconception. Hell used their supernatural power to create a net-like sheet of black energy around the body of the person. This black energy sheet is created by performing subtle fire sacrifice in hell region. Still, wow, so good, huh? Die, no need to suffer. Goes to hell just to play death with fire. Wow, nice. Once the sheet is placed around the person, his mind and intellect progressively become numb and the person is unable to move or speak. And what's the purpose will this idiot do that for? I would love to ask them, you don't have what to do it yet. You're gonna pick up, go recycle, go pick up cardboard on the street, whatever, to recycle, since you have nothing else to do. And I go and I put more fuel on the hellfire instead of coming here and disturb. Why do ghosts cause sleep paralysis? There are 4 main reasons why they attack or possess a person: seeking revenge, or someone send them someone. Try not ghosts. Why do devils cause sleep paralysis? Seeking revenge, trying to satisfy their desires or cravings, go satisfy their desire in hell, to gain pleasure from troubling others. Yeah, might be, or because they, yeah, to torment people who are good. The more good you are, the more they torment you. That's one reason also, to torment the people who are not a bad person. All these points have been explained in detail in the article on what the objective of the devil's existence. Spiritual remedies and treatment to come out of sleep paralysis. What can you do to come out from the paralysis? I think just wait. Or you can fight back. What I fight back. I don't give up easily. I fight back and I stand up and start to curse them until they go away. And I dare them to appear in paradise, materialize, to get a punch on the face. Since the cause of the paralysis is spiritual, it can be alleviated by spiritual remedy alone. When one finds oneself in this situation, the first thing to do is play. Nonsense. Play to God. I can find my own way like that. Play to God. End up their God. The God is the same one who direct all this. Stupid. Then you start chanting. Nonsense. Once the paralytic attack is overcome, nonsense. Stupid, fanatic, sick people. I just take what I find that makes logic and says what doesn't make any sense, I don't accept. Remember, by not panicking in doing spiritual practice of things, what can one do to ensure that it does not happen in future? You cannot, yeah, you can prevent, like you try not to meddle with things that you don't know, and try to live a clean life. Don't meddle or keep in company of people who meddle with things like doing cult and all that, and do offerings to entities that you don't know anything about. Even if you do not take part in this thing, however, you mix up with them in some way or another. If you know those people, you too will get polluted. You will get affected. So it's better not to mix up. If you know people that do all this kind of cult and offerings, how they rather not go near them. Regular chanting, nonsense. Frequency shift. What can others do to help the person? Well, gonna depend in how the others, how well they know what's going on. If they go on, they can anytime pull that person away, stand them up and ask them to fight. They themselves have to fight. Or you yourself with your child, you shout to the accursed one to get out, because they don't have power over you, and that you are not afraid of them. And whatever they do, it will not affect you, because you are more powerful and you feel yourself as powerful. And believe me, it happen. It works. It works wonders, like it did to me. Since yeah, you can offer prayer for protection. Also, it helps. Like the power of God protects me. The light of God enfolds me. The love of God I forget this mantra. The love of God is I forget. The power of God surrounds me. The light of God protects me. Sparkle water plays a picture of it. By shaking the past one's way that they are in this state, it helps them to come out of this. Yeah, that's true. But have some evil people, some evil cultures that want to do. They see the person dying there, being shaken to death, and they're sleeping, do nothing to help. It's scared like some kind of idiots. If I see that, I go there and I act it up. I act it up, and if I know that is the cause is a devil that I cannot see, I'll punch in the air, or I will just tell them to get the F away. And ask that person who is asleep there to act it up also. In a fight, don't be a chicken, don't be a chicky, don't be a mouse. Go in and fight for your rights. The reason for this is that when a person has been mobilized, his peripheral subtle spiritual energy network is on short circuited. Yeah, whatever. So for me, they come, they waste their time, they get a lot of curse from me and a lot of bad words, and they come out again. I ask them to appear, not to be a creep coward. Wow, they get out instantly, man. This idiot always scary, don't have God, you can this and you can think God is what energy. God just dispose, you propose. God dispose. You propose. God did not come from there and help you. What happens, who helps you is maybe even the same beings who are doing this to you, the same faction, the same clan. Do you understand or not? The party of this God that you worship is the one who come to save you. Is the same one that give puts this grief upon you and send their devils to disturb you. Okay? They are the disease to later act, pretend to offer the healing, so that you worship them more, you make pact with them, and once you do, wow, you belong to them. And well, enjoy your stay. After you die, enjoy your stay in hell or purgatory, whatever. So loose sleep has an adverse effect on us at many levels. Here's a practical guidance on what you can do to sleep better, with less disturbances. Just don't care lah. Don't care. I just don't care. Just be tough. They want to be bad, we be twice bad. That's how to teach evil thinking, evil people. Come on. How to sleep better? Yeah, to sleep better, you don't care. You take that tea, or you wash yourself with salty. Take a shower. And just believe that you can be more powerful than them. Each one of us would like to know how to sleep better, so that we get up well rested. A number of factors are involved in how to sleep better. One of the factors is our sleep position. We all have a typical sleep position, and we feel comfortable when we sleep in that sleep posture. We are aware that there are implications of our sleep posture from a physical health point of view. Also, there are many psychological explanations of the effects of different sleep postures. Here, our articles on how to sleep better explain the spiritual effects of different sleep positions, since you can imbibe different subtle frequencies, positive or negative, depending on how we sleep. In addition, the time we go to sleep can also affect us spiritually. Many of us have experienced that when we sleep late, we do not feel refreshed when we wake up in the morning. I do. I sleep 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock. I can wake up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then I feel I'm fresh and I'm strong. Learning when and how to sleep in a spiritually conducive way benefits both our spiritual practice and our worldly life, helping us to be more productive and happy overall. Effects on different sleep positions. Why this thing so slow today? Might be the old man sending virus. Each of us would like to know how to sleep well so that you can get up well rested. A number of factors are involved in how to sleep well. One of the factors is our sleeping position. We all have a typical sleeping position and we feel comfortable when we sleep in that sleeping position. We are aware that there are implications of our sleeping position from a physical health point of view. Also, there are many psychological explanations of the effects of different sleeping positions. In this article, we will explain how to sleep well from a spiritual perspective. We will focus on which is the best sleep position to sleep well and why. We will explain what actually happens in the subtle dimension with each sleeping position, so that we can make an educated decision on how to sleep well and which is the sleep position to achieve that. From a spiritual perspective, sleep is basically a state most related to the subtle basic Dhamma component. That means during sleep, the subtle basic Dhamma component in our body gets heightened. Coupled with this, as our spiritual practice is also at its lowest during sleep, we are spiritually most vulnerable when we sleep. No, because I say we are not complete, we are not conscious enough. As a result, when we sleep, we are more susceptible to attacks by demons. We also need a basic understanding of the Kundalini energy system of the body. The Kundalini is the inherent spiritual energy system of the body. Kundalini. It consists of 7 main centers or chakras, the main channels. So in a sense, I want to control the body. Okay, like a snake coiled. Does it rings a bell? Coiled up, a snake, a serpent. Oh, great, reptilian. The energy for the bodily and mental functions flows through the sun and moon channels. The energy flowing through the central channels relates to spiritual growth. I don't know why people take all on the base of subserviency. These people only can be the seed of the reptilian. I'm so sorry, but I cannot avoid from speaking up the truth. Oof. Why must always taking everything from the side of religions, of devotions, of herd? It's a herd mentality. We cannot, you all cannot have one critical point of view without that thinking that we are being disrespectful. For what you're gonna respect what pins us down here, and then bullseyes at least some of us. The sun channel is Raja predominant, whereas the moon channel is Sattva predominant. The energy flows alternately through the either whatever. The energy flow changes to openness across the body. Both parts of the body receive adequate energy of each type. This maintains a balance between the two types of energy flows. During the changeover from the sun to the moon channel, the central channel gets activated very briefly for 1 to 2 seconds in people. With lower spiritual level. This is negligible from the perspective of any benefit derived from the activated central channel. There's no sense when one's religion, even when someone's attacked twice more. Twice more, I was attacked twice. The name is now. Now they don't dare to come because when they come, they are prepared to fight back. And I can fight very strongly. If increases spiritual level, I think they cannot bear me, the sun and the fire that I have within. It increases spiritual level, the duration of activation of central channel increases above 55% spiritual level. It's no sense. The activation of the channels also depends on the sleeping position. Nothing to do. My mother always sleep on the back and nothing happened to her. The channel opposite to side we are sleep on gets activated predominantly. When one sleeps on the back, the central channels get activated in people above the 55% spiritual level. In people below this level, no channel is activated. So the channel opposite to the side we are asleep on gets activated predominantly. When one sleeps on the back, the central channel gets activated in people above the 55% spiritual level. And people below this level, no channel is activated. Oh, so my mother wants 55% spiritual level. Yeah, is it? Because she has sleep position was always on the back and all covered like a corpse, something like that. The activation for the sun or moon channel can also be as per the requirement of the body. For example, after our meals, the sun channel is predominantly activated to facilitate digestion of food. Also, when there is surge of emotions, the sun channel is activated. Valid anger. When the emotions subside, the moon channels get activated. However, when there are rapid and frequent vacillations in the emotional state, there is a rapid and irregular shift in activation of the two channels as the sun channel remains predominantly activated. As a result, there is an imbalance in the two types of energy flows, Raja and Sava. Is emotional person. In an emotional person, this roller coaster of emotions continues even in sleep in the subconscious mind. I see. This is because the impressions in the subconscious mind are active even in sleep. So the spiritual nature of the mind. When we sleep on our back, the Shetana, the speculative inconsistently that governs the functioning of the mind in the body and the cells of our body becomes unmanifest and dormant. Our body is most exposed to the region of hell, Patal, as a major portion of the body is directed towards the floor. Our body is most exposed to the region of hell, as major portion of the body is directed towards the floor. And what's wrong? And if we suppose we live in the 19 story, then what, 20 story, 10 story, 50 story still is affected. How to understand or how to accept doesn't make any sense. Unless you sleep directly on the soil, on the acid itself on the soil, then maybe, yeah, I don't you will accept that maybe this kind of black energy would come and then pull us down during sleep or whatever. However, we are in a flat, living the air, so I don't think that it will have much effect. Due to the combined effect of the above two factors, the body cells are unable to repel the attacks by distressing vibration from the head. No, it doesn't make any sense. However, the effect of the sleep position differs as per the spiritual level of the person. In a person below the 55 spiritual level, the extent of emotion is quite high compared to his spiritual emotion. Due to this, there are frequent and rapid vacillations between the channels. Hence, there is a constant imbalance in the energy flows from the sun and moon channels of the Kundalini energy system. And to have all this, I'm not Tesla. I don't give a damn about this. I never ask for this anyway in the conscious, supraconscious level. As explained above, what's to the devil, send back to the devil. As explained above, when a person below the 55% spiritual level takes a sleep position of lying on his back, his central channel is not activated. So that's what happened to my mother. However, because of his emotional nature, there is an imbalanced flow of energy to the body. The imbalance between the two energy flows of the sun and moon channels can affect how rapidly transport subtle basic Rajatama components in the body from the surrounding atmosphere. When there is an increase in the subtle basic Rajatama components, a person runs a higher risk of being attacked by distressing vibrations from the regions of hell. However, once one has progressed spiritually to the level of unmanifest spiritual emotion, one can control the energy flows. Till such time, it is best to avoid sleep on one's back, where there is maximum exposure of the body to the ground, and thereby to the regions of hell. Doesn't make any sense. Whether you sleep on the side or sleep upside down, you still attached in the floor, so no point in have any differences with the position. However, for me, I realized that whenever I sleep on my back, I was attacked. I could feel clearly something come and try to enter myself and come with a bang, boom. But I'm not scared. However, for some reason, if one does not need to sleep on the back, the risk of distress can be reduced by using spiritual remedy like lighting a savic stick near the bed before going to sleep, keeping a picture. Oh, now God now has a picture. Great. I wonder how it looks like. Like a cow, like a monkey, like a snake. When a person above 55% spiritual level sleeps on his back, his central channel of Kundalini system is activated. The spiritual emotion of this person is quite high, whereas the influence of emotion is quite reduced. When one is above 55 spiritual level, one attains control on the flow of the subtle basic Rajatama in the body and speed requirement. This happens at the level of one's unmanifest spiritual emotion. This is because one starts functioning more and more at the level of the energy of soul at Mahashakti. This is opposite to the level of energy of mind, Manahashakti. In the case of people below the 55 spiritual level, this energy of the soul maintains the balance between the sun and the moon channel of the Kundalini system. Below is a vibration subtle energy of the fact sleep on the back when one is supposed. Activation of central channel. Awakening of the 7 spiritual energy centers. Oh, I think I go to sleep on my back now. Sleep on the stomach. This one is no good. I like, but it's not good for health. When a person sleeps on his stomach, there is a pressure on the space in his abdomen. This pressure instigates the downward flow of the subtle excretory gases in the abdominal spaces. Sometimes when the proportion of this subtle excretory gases is high in the chest, they move in the upward direction too and exit out of the body through the nose and mouth. Huh? Sometimes when the proportion of this subtle excretory gas is high in the chest, they move in the upward direction too and exit out of the body through the nose and mouth. During the course of this dispelling of the subtle excretory gases, the body is highly sensitive to absorbing the frequencies of subtle basic Rajatama components from the external environment. When one is asleep in this position, the movements of the actual body organs are slowed and the spaces around the organs are activated because of the pressure of the subtle excretory gases. Due to this, the process of the excretion of subtle excretory gases from the organs and them being filled in the spaces between the organs is hastened. During this period, the person's body is hypersensitive to the process of transmission of the subtle basic Rajatama components at the subtle level. As a result, the person is vulnerable to attacks by demons from the environment as well as from the regions of hell. Subtle effects of sleep on the stomach. Creation of spinal ring of illusory. Creation of a black energy covering around the head. Creation of rings of negative energies on the chakras. Creation and activation of concentric rings of black energy around the chakras. Reduction in vital energy Shakti. Due to emission of particles of vital energy. So it's very bad to sleep on one's stomach. Activation of a ring of black energy around the body. Creation of black energy covering around the body. Waves of energy of attraction. Creation of waves of desire in the form of the rings of the sleep on the sides. When a person sleeps on his side, the sun or moon channels of the Kundalini system are predominantly activated. I sleep on my side, either on the right or left. However, still it can affect our sleep. It's a drone based on subtle. Sutta effect sleep on the right side. To understand Sutta process 3.6. Okay. Creation of a ring of divine energy. Creation of spinal ring of divine energy. Creation and activation of protective sheet. Creation and activation of a ring of materialized Sagun. Creation and activation of a ring of black energy at the Dhyana chakra. Creation and activation of a ring of black energy at the Naha chakra. Activation and emission of vibrations. Wave of black energy. Creation of a covering of black energy around the body. What? Creation and activation of particle of energy. Okay, since you cannot sleep on the stomach, on the back, in no way, so you might as well sleep upside down like a bat. There are suggestions that you sleep like a bat or like a chicken, sitting down in a pole. Creation and activation of particle energy that provide momentum. The moon channel is activated when a person sleeps on his right side. Below is advised based on subtle energy, the effect of sleeping on one's left side. Attraction of flow of divine consciousness. C. Creation and activation of a ring of divine consciousness. C. Emission of a ring of divine consciousness. C. Creation of a sheet of divine consciousness. C. Creation and activation of a ring of divine consciousness. C. Creation and activation of a ring of divine energy. So, according to their logic, we should sleep on the left. The sun channel is activated when a person sleeps on his left side. So this is considered as a best sleep position. When the sun or moon channels are activated, the Shantana in the body cells remain activated. As a result, there is a lower level of the subtle basic Tamaka penetrating. The Shantana also helps fight the attack from spirits. So sleep on your left. Not known to sleep on the back, not to sleep on the stomach, and also cannot sleep on the left, on the right side. From a spiritual perspective, unless one is above the 55 spiritual level, best sleep position is on the left side. Unless one is above, producer is 55% above. If not, then what? Sleep upside down or sleep in a pole hang on the trees like a chicken and a bat. Doesn't make any sense. Oh my gosh. Now sleeping with feet facing south. My feet face south. No, face the east. In this article series about living better into various aspects of how to sleep well, we are looking at the various parameters of how to sleep well. In this article, we'll start the effect of sleeping with our feet facing south. This start into how to sleep well is entirely from the spiritual perspective. It will help us make an educated decisions about how to sleep well from the perspective of the direction of our feet when we sleep. Spiritual research into how to sleep well. Spiritual sleep with sound. There are various frequencies inherently present in the atmosphere. The presence flow is predominant in certain directions. When our body is aligned with the direction of the flow, we enter the field and are influenced more than when we are not in the field. Among these frequencies are two types of distressing or negative frequencies. One type of frequencies are the downward flowing frequencies that go towards to the hell region, and the other are a type of frequencies known as the Tiriac frequencies. Tiriac literally means skewed. As these frequencies are skewed, they cause distress. Both these frequencies move in the southern direction. Hence, the southern direction is charged with these negative frequencies. When we sleep with our feet facing south, our body is most exposed to the activity of the downward frequencies and the Tiriac frequencies. This increases the activity of the subtle basic Rajatama particles both inside and outside the body. That's why I see one person who is very evil and stupid, and he sleeps with his head north and his foot south. And he's very stupid and very religious and very mean. This increases the activity of the subtle basic Rajatama component, aids the activity of demons. Consequently, we face an increased risk of being affected by demons. Oh, no wonder this person is evil. Sleep on the north. And he say he's great as long as he do his prayer. The southern direction is associated with the region of death. My Lord. The subtle basic Rajatama frequencies and distress. When we sleep with our feet facing south, the vibrations from the region of death and the region of hell join together. And according to them, the north is where they bury the dead. So it's best not to sleep with the head in the north and the feet in the south. Doing to this, we attract subtle basic Rajatama frequencies and demons. Consequently, as a result of the combined effect of the above, when we sleep with our feet facing south, we can suffer distress in the form of difficulty. Oh, this person sleep like a stone. He can sleep the whole night and the whole day also, and he feels nothing. And he sleeps with the head north and the feet south. Nightmares. Nightmares. Have a lot of nightmares. Wake up shouting, feeling scared while asleep. Oh, he doesn't feel waking up in fear. No, this person does not. Thus, from the perspective of how to sleep well, it's important to take into account the direction of our bed when planning the layout of the house. Even when we are camping outside or in hotel or in someone else's house, it is best to take care that we do not sleep in the north-south direction, especially with our feet facing south. In the following articles in this series on how to sleep well, we will consider the effect of sleep with our feet facing other direction. So it's not known to sleep facing south, sleeping late at night. All of us would like to know how to sleep well so as to be at our best when we get up. One of the important parameters involved in how to sleep well is the time of going to sleep. Most of us have experienced that we are not at our best in the morning when we go to sleep late. Some of us are aware about the ill effect of going to sleep late at night at a physical and psychological level. Well, the only thing that we miss many things in the morning, but for me, doesn't make any difference because I don't want to see evil faced people on the road anyway, and give you some dark eye circle, but it can disappear with time, no problem as soon as you sleep. So that's the only problem that it gives, nothing else. However, either due to the pressure of work or partying, more and more people are going to sleep late at night. In this article, we take a look at what happens in the subtle dimension when you go to sleep late at night. This will help us take an educated decision about how to sleep well from the perspective of when we should go to sleep at night. Spiritual research about seekers of SSRF have advised sixth sense or extrasensory perception, investigated at spiritual level the effect of the time of going to sleep as a parameter of how to sleep well. The divine knowledge that they received once verified by his benefit of our actions spare the time after sunset. It's all relative to what you believe. If you are strong, nothing will harm you. From sunrise to sunset, clockwise or positive frequencies are moving in the atmosphere. After sunset, the anti-clockwise or distressing frequencies start moving in the atmosphere. Hence, we get progressively lesser and lesser benefit of our actions. To understand this in further detail, let us divide the 12 hours between sunset to sunrise in 4 blocks of 3 hours each. The following diagram shows how the benefit of our actions are compromised after sunset. In this example, we have taken 6 p.m. on the time of sunset and 6 a.m. on the time of sunrise. In the next 3-hour block, the benefit of spiritual action will start reducing. In the third segment of 3 hours, the benefit of any time of action will fully or this time the spiritual world is highly reduced. In the first 3 hours block of time immediately after sunset, the benefit of our willful action is far less than during the period before sunset. Finally, during the last 3 hours block, 3 hours before sunrise, we again start getting benefit of our willful actions. Increased frequency of subtle basic Rajatama at night. The time after sunset is a period of a higher subtle basic Rajatama activity. The subtle basic Rajatama component goes on increasing as the night starts advancing. The subtle basic Rajatama component is not conducive to positive activity. Hence, when we try to accomplish something during the period after sunset, we have to work against the tide of the higher subtle basic Rajatama component. Nothing to do. Sometimes you can achieve better during the night than the days. Thus, a lot of energy is wasted in just overcoming the negative influence of the heightened subtle basic Rajatama component. As a result, to accomplish any task, we end up having to spend much more energy. The fluctuation of the subtle basic component of Sava, Raja and Tamas by 5%. Imagine you have to live in a very damn bastard hot place and then have to work on the heat in the morning and then sweat like hell. This is what takes away our energy, and not at night when it's cool, less hot, not say cooler, less hot than daytime. During the early morning hours, the subtle basic sattva component is at its highest. As the sun goes up during the day, the subtle sun is good when there's cold, man. If it is heat, forget about sun. Component steadily rises. If sun down, the subtle basic Tama component starts rising and is at its highest around 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. Hence, the early morning hours are most conducive to accomplishing any positive activity. This is because the intensity Victor. I like to bake on this time, 12 to 5 a.m. 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. is good. This because the enhanced Victor notice must be enhances one's capacity to work, and because of the lower total basic Raja and Tama, the resistance to activity is lower. So all depends. Influence of the ghost. Another important factor to be taken into account is the influence of the demons. Due to the steady increase in the subtle basic Tama component of sunset, the influence of the devils is increased in two ways. Increase the ability to harness black or negative energy from the environment. Increase the ability of utilizing this energy by draining people of their vital energy and putting negative thoughts in their minds. Yeah, it can happen. The influences increases progressively after twilight. But imagine it in a way when you are asleep during the night, they also will come and disturb you. So what's the difference? You cannot sleep during the night because they come to disturb you. So we have no much way out. The influences increase progressively after twilight and is at its height after midnight. The period from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. is the period of their maximum influence. No, nowadays they change. Nowadays is between I would say 2, at least where I am, 2 to 5 a.m. It's also the period where the effect of spiritual practice is at the minimum. They are in the heightened at 4:30 to 5 o'clock, or sometimes 4 to 6 a.m. As already explained above, hence we are more vulnerable to their attacks. Thus, apart from the physical and psychological effects of going to sleep late at night, spiritual level too, going to sleep late at night is detrimental. Also, when we go back to sleep late at night, we invariably ends up getting up late in the morning. As explained above, the subtle basic sattva component is at its highest in the hours just before sunrise and the hour just after it. Hence, by not walking the early morning, I will lose the benefit of the intensity Satvika at the time. Thus, from the perspective of getting maximum value for the time you put in, it's best not to go to sleep late at night. Yeah, depends where we are. If I live on the countryside, I will wake up very early. Effects of different sleeping post. All of us would like to know how to sleep well so that we get up well rested. Among the many factors involved in how to sleep well, one is the time of going to sleep. Many people have the habit of taking a quick nap after returning from the office in the evening. In this article, we will explain what actually happens in the subtle dimension when you go to sleep at twilight, say 6 to 7 p.m. in some countries, so that you can make an educated decision on how to sleep well and when to sleep to achieve that. From a spiritual perspective, sleep is basically a state most related to the subtle basic Dhamma component. That means during sleep, the subtle basic Dhamma component in our body gets heightened. Coupled with this, as our spiritual practice is also at its lowest during sleep, we are spiritually most vulnerable. Yeah, that's true. Because also we are not complete and we are unconscious. When we sleep, as a result, when we sleep, we are more susceptible to the spiritual pollution of subtle basic Rajatama and attacks by demons. What happens when we sleep? When we sleep, we go from the conscious state to the dormant state. Yeah, and it's there when we are attacked. Due to this, the efficiency of the internal spaces in the body as well as of the cells in the circulatory system is highly reduced. Internal spaces are the space between two organs in the body. Due to the sleeping state, the sub-vital energies in the body are set into motion. This activates the internal excretory gases and they start to move in a downward direction. Yeah, that's when the digestive processes start to ferment the food we had during the until sunset. Due to the influence of this downward flow, the distressing vibration transmitted from the regions of hell are attracted towards the sleeping person. Ooh. Now, the momentum of the subtle basic Rajatama particles under the atmosphere is higher during twilight when compared to other parts of the day. Negative energies from the regions of hell utilize this emotion of the subtle basic Rajatama particles to gain easy entry into the atmosphere. Because of the influence of the spiritually polluted atmosphere, the subtle basic Rajatama frequencies are transferred from the physical body of the person to his vital energy body, Paranadeha, in a very short time. Due to this, the person can suffer the following distress: nightmares, wake up with a startle, trembling of the body, vomiting also can happen, vomiting and I get very sick, sensation akin to electric shock, possession by spirit. Yeah, depend where you are. If you are in a place and then you sleep, if your feet facing south, it ever happened to me. I sleep one time, I was very tired and I decided to sleep at sunset at this this place in the house where it's mostly haunted. And then I sleep I didn't know that time, 2024, yeah, 2004, year 2004, 2005, and then I wake up vomiting. And I got very sick after that, very sick. Thus, at a physical level, we may feel rested by the nap in the evening, but at deeper spiritual level, we run a greater risk. Yes, true. As we are ignorant about this science, we do not realize that they have been affected. Neither do we link any of the above distress to be affected. From a spiritual perspective, as the proportion of subtle basic Rajatama component is high at twilight, it's best not to indulge in an activity like sleep, which is predominantly tamasic, at 6, between 6 in some countries to 7 p.m. But just don't be scared. If you are strong, you can conquer all this. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Negative effect of sleep with the head open. Even this thing also have too much nonsense. Shampoo commercial along with fashion and celebrity magazines. In this section, we share a drawing based on subtle knowledge drawn on this. Attracts of wave of divine energy, creation of particle divine energy. We have antennas that absorb a lot of the energy. And for some people, when you cut it, you lose that energy. That parana. Also, one becomes more conscious about the fact, and that's good. That's a good thing to let the hair loose, because we can best get into our senses, what? Convert and tamak complete my negative energies. It's led to increase in feels and depression, worry, increase sexual thought, leading to promiscuity. That's nonsense. Nonsense. If I want to be promiscuous, I'll be even with a veil or a turban around my head. Anyway, every time I tie my hair, because I have allergy to long hair, so I just tie. And maybe I should cut like a man better. Through spiritual research, we discovered that he has more Rajatama predominant than the rest of our bodies, and therefore naturally becomes a target for negative energies, as they too are Rajatama predominant. However, what makes hair an easier target for attack is that the hair tip behind a subtle void through which negative energy can enter. This void is very small, but opens up each time a woman cuts or trims her hair. Ooh! And I do it every time. All the voids in the body are susceptible to a subtle attack. For example, through food, negative energy can enter the body through the mouth. When the hair tips are left exposed, as the above drawing based on subtle knowledge, negative energy uses the void in the hair tips to enter a woman's and travel up into the pores of the scalp. This results in distress energy collecting all over the pores, which usually impairs the intellect of the woman. I tie my hair. I do not put any covering around my hair, because it destroys the hair and I may kill the hair because there's no ventilation. As a result, black energy is more likely to collect in the butt, but then I lose a lot of hair. When a woman leaves her hair loose, that's why it's recommended that women do not cut their hair. That's nonsense. I think all this is scared to keep the woman a very subjugated way in religions. Women with shorty hair are a disadvantage. They generally keep their hair loose. What? So the men know. The man is excused. That's nonsense. Now come with misogyny here. As a result, distress energy from the environment are continuously attracted to the hair left loose. Short hair on a woman is more likely to become charged with distress. I do not believe I can cut my hair any time and that's it. A solution to minimize the negative effect has been given in the last section of the nonsense. Stop the discrimination. Sleep with the hair loose. When a woman sleeps with her hair loose, the tips of the hair shaft are exposed. When sleeping, we are more vulnerable to negative energy, as they are more active at night due to increased Rajatama. Why do men not get affected by keeping their hair short and open? Because you all have discrimination towards women. So the devils will all follow. At spiritual level, man generally have less of the Raja subcomponent than woman. What a lie! What a lie! Oh, the Raja mean action and heat and action component. Hence, they are less emotional and are also less sensitive. What? Less emotional. So, who commits more crime if not men rather than women? If they wanted to be rational, they will not rape and follow their emotions, think if they are lower head and will not get angry, then killing everybody around, right? And anger also is a sign of emotion and also less sensitive. Nonsense, nonsense. I am more rational than most men. They also have a high ability to fight. Oh yeah, right. They have so much ability that they let themselves get succumbed and vulnerable to the forces of darkness. See, and commit the most crimes in the world. Who commits more homicide and genocides and feminicide if not a male? Huh? Nonsense. I'm going to tell this stupid woman. Not me. I can think. I'm very rational. I'm a very smart woman. Very, very wise woman. Nobody fools me. Nobody. As a result, they are less prone to subtle attack because of their hair being cut. Nonsense. A lie. Men have a high ability to imbibe the Sava component. What the nonsense? So Sava that they go around killing. Who do all the wars? Who are more attracted by demons if not men? Is therefore recommended for men to keep their hair short. Hair grown long by man increase the subtle heat in their body and disturb their inner stability. Long hair in a males make them better to pull their hair and also makes them stronger, like the Samson. Have you ever heard of Samson? Samson, that man there in the middle, and I don't know, in the Middle East in the ancient times, that a woman, they say a woman came and cut his hair. He had long hair and he was very strong and invincible until a woman came and cut off his hair, and after that he lost his ability and strength. So men too must have long hair, not just a woman. Some practical suggestions for hairstyle from a spiritual perspective. Spiritual research conducted by SSRF has shown that as much as possible, women should not leave their hair loose. It's better to put the hair up in a band or tie in like a braid. Also braid there down that the hair below there. Should they braid? Not me, because I am a shaver woman. I'm a shave. For a woman, even while sleeping, it's better to tie one's hair up. After hair wash or hair bath, we recommend a woman ties the end of her hair or puts a towel around her hair while it's drying. The sophisticated for doing regular, but nonsense. Enough of your nonsense. Also, women become more conscious about the five senses and their body when their hair is left loose. This increased awareness of one's body can impede spiritual growth. Oh, now I'm gonna sleep with my hair loose. Oh, no wonder I see that sometimes my awareness goes down because I tie up my hair because I have allergy. But now I'm gonna let my hair loose and down. To grow spiritually, you have to transit it with the five senses, mind and intellect. No sense. You want the person to be subjugated, just say so. Oh, it's about I want the 60 senses. I don't want the 5 senses. I want the 60 senses. So I keep on tying my head. I don't want my health. As a result of regular spiritual practice, one is able to feel the difference between sattva and tama predominant activities. Once one is able to perceive this, one does not need to be told what's spiritually better, as it can be felt internally through regular spiritual practice and maintain sattvic lifestyle. One is enough. So woman, I don't know, it's up to each one. As for me, I like shorty hair and I like to tie my hair. Sleeping during the day, sleep at late at night. So best sleeping direction east-west. In this article on how to sleep well, we start the effect of sleep with our feet facing the west direction. This is about how to sleep well is entirely if you have to take a decision. Seekers of having about 6 industrial perception in spiritual research, the different sleep position. They sought to find out the effect of sleep with our feet facing the west and the best direction to sleep in. But I've been knowledge that they receive about the effect of sleep with our feet facing the west. Oh, I put my head to the west instead. And the best direct sleep in. Benefit of frequency of action of the gun. Frequency of action line with the east-west direction. The movement is in the space between these two directions. We sleep our feet facing west. We get a higher benefit of these frequencies. I'm gonna do that. I'm going to sleep with my feet facing the west now. Due to the transfer of the frequencies of action in the body, the 5 vital energies situated at the level of the navel are activated. These 5 vital energies thrown out the subtle excretory gases from the body through the medium of the vital energies. This helps in the purification of the vital body, and the sheet of the vital energy bodies makes the person invigorated. A down sattvic frequencies apart from the above mentioned are transmitted from the east direction. These sattvic frequencies from the atmosphere enter our body easily from the Brahmaratva Kundalini system. When we are asleep with our feet facing west, as our head then faces east, the opening above those 7 Kundalini chakra is just we too become sattvic. We begin the day with higher sattvika and to begin the day with the highest positive note. We should sleep with our feet facing the west. Apart from frequency of the action of God and the sattvic frequencies are down, the pleasant saptataran 7 ripple frequencies come from the east direction. When we sleep overhead in the eastward direction, we derive maximum benefit from the 7 repeated frequencies due to the influence of our body cycle moves in the clockwise desired directions. Result, all body functions are optimized. The body cycle is the subtle, intangible system of all gross and subtle body functions. When we sleep with our feet facing the west, as our head is in the east direction, 10% more 7 ripple frequencies are imbibed by the 7 Kundalini chakras. As the chakras influenced by the 7 ripple frequencies move in the clockwise direction, the person gets benefit at the spiritual level. Hence, one does not experience distress from the subtle basic Rajatama particles generated in the body due to the sleeping state. Thus one sleeps well. I'm gonna try this method. From the above explanation, we can see that from the perspective of how to sleep well, the east-west direction with the feet facing the west is the best direction to sleep in. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna try to see how I ever sleep in this position, and it was okay. And whenever I sleep my head facing north, I would get terrible nightmares and get sick. But I have tried change position, but I did not help me at all. I remember trying to sleep. I sleep before my head towards west and feet east, but it didn't help. So I changed. I put my head towards the east and feet towards the west, but still it didn't help me with the sleep disorder. However, I will try to keep this in mind and follow this advice. So I hope that this video will help some people to at least try to help remedy their sleep problem.